YouTube channel. It's African Queen Grace. I'm excited to be back. We've been having conversations of investment and we are progressing with this good topic. Mainly for Kisumu. You know, Kisumu has been left behind for so long, and now we want people to start thinking about how do we build the capacity of investments in Kisumu. So today we are excited, yes, to have another guest who is also based in Kisumu. Guys, we have people with this information right here in Kisumu. So we don't need to go so far, and we're going to listen more from her, and she's going to tell us who she is. But before that, I want to tell you she has been in this industry for 10 years. So she's talking about what she knows. She gives people advice. She's a consultant. She's also employed under the same roof. Like she works for Maseno University under pensions as a pensions manager. Yeah. So she knows what this is. Retirement benefit scheme. We've been talking about retirement. Why do people wait until the last minute is when they start scrambling with the little money they've earned over the years to start investing? It's too late. You know, you're trying to do things that you've never done for many years. Other people add wives, third wives, second wives. So she's going to talk about all these exciting things and what people need to do before that. So she's a consultant. She's going to give us more information so that you guys can be able to reach her when you require her services and to pick on her brain and see what works for you. Monica, welcome.
Thank you so much, Grace. That's an exciting introduction. I'm looking forward to this. Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
We are also excited as African Queen Grace crew, but even our viewers are also excited.
Thank you.
Yeah, they say they gave lots of feedback from the other reviews and they said we are heading towards the right direction.
That's good. Thank you so much for having me.
So maybe give us a snapshot of a detailed introduction and then we can move into this exciting topic of today.
Thank you so much. As you mentioned, my name is Monica Ogada. I am a finance and investment person. I consult on pension matters. My day-to-day job, as you mentioned, I'm the pension manager of Maseno University Retirement Benefit Scheme. My passion, Grace, is investments, finance. Wow. I like that you've mentioned for long Kisumu, we've been left behind. It is time we move. Time we move. Yes. So I'm excited that you have me here. I hope I can teach someone one or two things about it.
No, we will invite you even more. Like this is just the beginning.
I'll be here.
So we want you to give us a bit of it, okay. And then we go and digest. We ask questions, then we'll do another follow-up.
No problem.
Wow,
that's exciting.
So what do you have for us today, guys? She's the one going to drive the conversation because I also have to learn, and you can see I have my notebook ready.
I'm excited, Grace. Mm-hmm. I want to talk to you about wealth creation. Mm-hmm. We are introducing it today, as you said, so we will not go too deep, although I'll try to use an analogy I like about the three-legged stool in terms of wealth creation. Because if you don't do these three things, Grace, the stool will not stand. We know we are Africans, we are on African Queen Grace, so when you use the three-legged stool, we all know what it is.
Yes.
So these three things, Grace, when it comes to wealth creation, have to be discussed as the three things. Without that, your journey towards wealth creation cannot happen.
It will not stand.
It will not stand.
Wow.
It will not stand.
Wow.
So what are these three things? I will go into details later. Wealth creation is a function of earnings. It is a function of savings. And it is also a function of investments.
Wow.
You have to earn, you have to save, and then you have to invest. Then we can say you're on your journey towards becoming wealthy. That is what I'm going to talk about today. Yes.
I'm excited. Now, when you're talking about wealth creation, I don't know if it's something you'll talk about today or maybe later.
Yeah.
The generation of today don't have the patience. So they want quick fixes. They want like today, you've started work and you're a millionaire.
Yes.
And even some people think YouTube is a shortcut to creating wealth.
Yes.
Social media, let's not say YouTube, but social media. So where do we begin? Like you said, you earn, you save, you invest. What is the first thing that you need to look into?
Grace, the first thing, even before we start talking about finance, the first thing we need to talk about is attitude. You're very right in saying our attitude as young people these days is just so wrong. What is your mentality towards... Today we are very specific on money.
Yes.
So your attitude determines so much of you in life. What is your attitude, your approach towards everything you do in life? That is where we start, Grace. It is not a very easy subject, but it can be digested in small proportions. I like what a famous guy called Aristotle says. Aristotle says you keep doing the same thing over and over again, eventually it becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of your psyche, it becomes easier. And so let's start there at attitude too. Because without a right attitude towards anything in life, then your direction in life will just be messed up.
I totally agree.
Yes.
Funny enough, in my last video that I posted, we talked about, we were looking at the customer care attitude of the people of Kisumu. And we're saying, why do we have challenges with our businesses? It's because as an entrepreneur, you might have the goodwill.
Correct.
But the people you employ don't have the goodwill. So your clients, because let's be honest, it's not all the time you'll be in your investment area. So you'll find when your clients go there and they're not treated well, they will come the first time, the second time, they'll not come back. And the main issue has always been attitude.
Attitude is everything.
So what attitude should we have then? How do we build this positive attitude or aggressive attitude? You tell us more.
For me, attitude is in terms of a belief in yourself that your goals are possible, you're dreaming it, you can envisage that I can do the right thing. Because there are some people, especially those, as we started talking, you were talking of Kisumu having been left behind.
Yes.
If we can believe that it can be done as a starting point, if you can believe that we can change, we can start talking positively about Kisumu at the very basic level, at individual level, at government level, at county level. If we can believe that we can change, then we can start seeing transformation. But if you always believe we will keep complaining, we will keep saying it cannot happen, it's only happening elsewhere, then it can't happen. We have seen a lot of transformation in Kisumu, Grace, over the past 5 years. So we cannot keep having the same attitude when clearly we are getting resources that can then enable us change our lives. So if you don't believe at an individual level that I can take advantage of the growth, the opportunities that are coming in, then we are wasting time, even as you are saying, towards that journey of wealth creation. Because then you will keep complaining, you will keep getting money and it disappears in whatever channel. And so, Grace, attitude is the very beginning. Attitude is the very beginning. Have a positive mentality. It just takes, when you wake up in the morning, and I like, it's normally a controversial topic, but I like something called The Secret, where they say the secret advocates for monitoring your feelings. When you wake up in the morning, how are you feeling? Am I feeling happy? Am I feeling sad? If you try and monitor your feelings, Grace, over time, you will realize that you can be able to transform and change it and decide that I have woken up feeling bad. But if you just monitor it, you can go in front of the mirror and smile and say, I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to have a good day. I am going to make money today and everything I touch will succeed. It might not happen, but you're walking into it with a positive attitude.
True.
Let's start there.
I do agree with you, and I'm excited that you are now speaking my language, because I keep on saying just try. You know, without trying, you will not know that it will work or not. And you'll realize if you're persistent, then ways keep opening and you're like, oh, voila, you mean this can happen, you mean this can happen. And so positive attitude really is key. And Kisumu, guys, even those who are coming in, we are now changing. We are no longer saying we need to change. We are now saying we have started changing our attitude towards investors and how we can create wealth. So we go to the 3 things, yes?
We go to the 3 things. As we say, this is just an introduction because as you said, I do trainings a lot, and some of these things, each leg of the stool is a whole day's conversation. So today,
I agree.
today we are just going to introduce what these three things are.
Yeah.
And look at them in small details. The next time I know I'll be back on African Queen Grace.
Yes.
We will go into more details about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we started with talking about wealth creation. And we said wealth creation is a function of earnings, it is a function of savings, and it is a function of investment. Let's start with earnings. You need to wake up every day and get some money. Earnings is simply going to work to make money. It does not matter whether it's a business, it does not matter whether it's your work, it does not matter whether it is online. These days opportunities have opened up in so many areas, as you mentioned. So what are you doing? What is your hustle? What is your hustle basically to make money? So as you mentioned, a lot of young people these days take a lot of shortcuts. And so today we are talking to the people who are really just waking up to hustle, to make money, to survive, so that they can be able to then get on to the journey of wealth creation.
So you need to have something in your hands.
You need to have something.
You cannot want to be wealthy and you're just waking up and sleeping.
No,
you need to come up with ideas, implement them, follow up with them, and make sure that you're getting at least something is coming in.
Something has to come in, you're very right. Something has to come in. It can come from your passion. You can be passionate about something and use that to earn.
Yes.
You can be employed somewhere and use that to earn. You can do so many things. We are saying Kisumu is opening up.
Yes.
What is it that you can tap into to earn? That is the first leg. That is the first leg. We cannot talk of wealth creation without
earning. So
yes.
lazima utafute kazi.
Lazima utafute
and
kazi.
no kazi is little. I think that is something we need to stress on.
Grace, you're very right.
Yes.
Extremely.
Because I remember, before people used to assume these mama bogas, even the people who are selling tumbas, and quickly people realized, Kadogo economy has a lot of money. The money circulation in the Kadogo economy is you cannot even, and people who are wealthy, actually you realize most of their goods are sold in the Kadogo economy.
Very true, very true. It does not matter what it is you're doing. As long as you're honest in your trade, whatever small thing you're doing is your earning. And you will be surprised, Grace. As we talk of wealth, you will realize it is not the amount of money you get that gets you to wealth.
Oh.
It is not.
Oh.
You can be a mama mboga down here and you'll be surprised. A lot of chama ladies who do these mama mboga things get into chamas and they end up becoming extremely wealthy. But the middle class,
we are comfortable. We want nice designer outfits, pictures.
But that is a controversial topic. Let us not introduce it today.
Okay.
But you're very right.
Yes.
It does not matter how much it is.
Okay.
Yeah. It does not matter how much it is. Wake up, go get some money, and then your one leg imesimama.
So now we have one leg standing.
Yes.
Your money is coming in.
Yes.
Yeah. How do we move to the next one?
We then move to save. We have to save. We have to save because earning money, simply earning money without saving, then means that it simply disappears. You're simply a sort of a channel to other things. So we want to earn and then we want to put some aside. But I want to qualify savings as well. I like to call it goal-oriented savings.
Okay.
Goal-oriented savings means that you're not just saving for the sake of, because saving in itself is a very difficult thing, they said.
In fact, I'm writing questions here because I want to know how to save. It's very
saving
difficult.
In itself is a very challenging concept. That's why I'm introducing goal-oriented saving. You do not just say that I am putting money aside because the investment consultant said we save. We are putting money aside so that it can work towards something. And it can be anything, Grace. We normally see you in the Mara. We also want to go to the Mara. So I do not want to wake up tomorrow and just say I'm going to the Mara. What does that
all
mean?
your money on Mara.
What does that mean? Utaingia mshwari, utaingia fuliza, so that you go to Mara, alafu tuweke Facebook ati you're in the Mara. So if you want to go to the Mara, save, plan towards it, save a little money and say that next year come March, I want to go to the Mara. How much could it cost me? You are saving towards a goal. We want to buy land. We are saving towards buying land. We want to do some course. We are saving towards it. So that your saving is goal-oriented. You are motivated to save. If you do not have a plan for your savings, if you're not saving towards a goal, that is how you will find someone calls you up, and we are Africans, we all know our families depend on us.
Yes.
Someone calls you, an auntie from somewhere you do not even know is sick, has been rushed to the hospital. You have some 50,000 you've saved up. If it had no particular goal, all that 50 will go towards it, because then you cannot sit there and say you can't help. But you always have these savings that are goal-oriented. You want to save for a trip, you have that account. You want to save towards your education, you have that account. You want to save towards emergencies, you save towards that. It will motivate you, and it really does not matter the amount again. I'm going back to that.
I do agree, because I remember when we were going to Masai Mara, it was actually a girls' trip.
Yes.
And it took us a year to save. And we said, because there were people who were okay with giving the full amount, but people's earnings are different.
Correct.
So we decided, because the earnings are different, we don't want that person who cannot afford a lump sum to feel left out. So we said, those who are willing to give us kidogo kidogo, you start giving it out. And it actually worked wonders. Someone would give 5,000, someone would give 10,000, depending on your, how much you wanted to allocate. But at the end of the day, we all went. And all expenses paid, and nobody felt left out. And so I do agree, it's a mindset we need to change. This mindset of hii yangu ni kidogo. Hii yangu ni kidogo. We want to feel like hii yako ni kidogo, like someone else always has more money than you. But it's not true.
When you see Grace traveling, when you see people living the life, and it goes back to attitude, as you're saying, this person might have sacrificed, because it calls for sacrifice.
Yes.
We have a lot of competing needs in our pay but it calls for sacrifice. If you do 1,000 savings every month, 1,000 only, at the end of the year you have 12,000 shillings. If you have saved it in some investment that is also earning you some money in that, it will be 12,000 plus something on top. So depending on what you want to do, and every December we normally joke of the 40 days of January. It is because you wait for your December salary and you want to use this to shop for your family,
travel.
But if you are saving for this from January to December, in your circle, in a money market account, we'll talk about this in investments, then you'll find yourself living a life that people admire, and you'll find yourself practically having the second leg in place. Yes.
Now, this second leg, I wanted to ask issue to do with how do you save? Because that has always been a challenge. Now I have my earnings, now I have a goal, but how do I save? Most people don't have the discipline of saving. And this goes to the extent of even like saying every month nitaacha 5,000 in my account. But then you realize, upitie pale K-City, you realize, there's some hot shoes that are there. You quickly say, hata ile ka 5,000, nitatoa tu acha nikatoe 2K. You buy the shoes. You forget about the goal. So how or where can we save with the discipline? Are there such places?
Yes, there are many. And I like, we talk about practical things, because these are things we all experience.
Yes.
As an investment person, I can't lie to you that it's easy for me to save. That's why your question is very relevant, because there are avenues where, number one, if you're maybe on payslip or you're a business person, you can ask your employer to do check-off. So that your money does not hit your account, then now you start thinking, where am I saving? So you planned in advance that I will be saving 2,000 shillings every month from my business, from my earnings, from my employment. So you do a standing order or you do check off, so that this money does not come to you. It is deducted at source.
Before you even access it.
That is the easiest form. I know for business it might be tricky, but if you're paid, you can put, and you're guaranteed to know that at a particular time there will be money in my account from whatever means, you put a standing order with your bank and they deduct. You have to be faithful because the bank penalizes you when they find no money there. So it also calls for discipline. And that deduction, that when money hits and your standing order is there, it also makes you disciplined. Because then you always learn to have money that will be channeled. That's the first thing. Then the next thing, have systems. I like M-Shwari, it's most basic form, and I'm not marketing them. But this thing called lock savings, because as you're saying, if you leave it open, we are human.
Access it anytime.
We are human.
Yeah.
You can access it anytime. But a basic form of M-Shwari lock savings means that you put a date, that once I feed this money into this, until that time when that date reaches, that we go back to goal-oriented saving. Until that time when this date reaches, the account will not open up. So you're locking it. You're locking it.
But does it keep deducting? Or it's just a fixed amount you lock inside?
You keep building towards that. You say my ultimate goal is to save 100,000 in this account. So you keep building it up towards that 100,000. So as you're at 20,000, you cannot access this 20 because you told us nita unlock ikifika either December at particular date or when it has hit this goal. Wow. That is one way. Banks also have this locks kind of thing. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention a specific one, but specific banks have that lock feature where when you put the money into that account, then it sweeps that amount. You do not see it. It sweeps it away until a particular period has reached. We have fixed deposits where once you tell them lock this amount, they lock it. You cannot access it. So that either you're building towards it or you have a certain lump sum which you lock there, so that then you don't access it in between. Of course, we want to be people who are disciplined, who will not chuna, but we can't dispute the fact that emergencies can happen.
True.
And so we want to ensure that in our goal-oriented savings, we have this amount locked up, so that as we build towards it, once it hits your goal, you go do what you want to do. Yes.
Wow. So guys, if you have questions, remember to ask them in the comment section. We really want to have and use her brain to, support you guys in the investments that you're thinking of, how to save, how to earn. No earning is too little. Let's go to the third leg. She said this topic, as you can see, it needs us another session. But this is Introduction 101. So third leg.
The third leg, Grace, now is the biggest leg, and it is investment. You have earned.
Yes.
You have saved. Now you want to invest. We are moving to a journey of wealth creation where we say, I want to be wealthy. Wealth is a big word, but we all
very
can be
ambiguous.
We are going towards a journey of financial independence. So it is a journey. You talked of young people. They need to understand it is a journey. There are no shortcuts. So investments are then what consolidate your earnings and your savings to now complete the journey towards wealth creation. So what form of investments are we looking at? Number one, investments allows you to have extra sources of income, of earnings, because it is a circle. We cannot remove one leg and say, okay, we have finished earning, so we move away. We finished saving, we move away. We finished investing. It is a circle, it goes round. So you've invested, you're looking for now investment. I have saved, I have some money here. What are these investments that we are looking at? They start from the very basic level. We are looking at to the highest level. From the basic level, Grace, is a level where you're asking right now, where can I go with my 1,000 bob and be welcomed in come in and save that 1,000 as a start as we move towards it. We are looking at consolidated savings like Chairman. This merry-go-round thing, Grace, is an effective saving because once you have given Grace, you're not going to run away until the circle ends. So that saves because maybe you're month 6. So you're giving month 1 to this person, month 2 to this person, and month 6 you're getting a lump sum. That is also a saving strategy. And you have planned that in month 6 when I get my sum, I will invest it in this money. So let's look at basic investments. You have money market. Money market is run by most insurance companies. It is the most basic kind of savings for me because it offers a guarantee on your capital. No one will come to tell you that you saved in the money market and your capital that you gave us disappeared. If you saved 12,000...
When you say money markets, can you give us examples? Because there are people who might not understand.
Money markets are a form of unit trust where people save collectively. They are mostly run by insurance companies.
Okay.
So you walk into an insurance company, CIC, Britam, Jubilee, all those companies, and you tell them, I want to open a money market account. So they open for you this money market account. So since they are pooled vehicles, they are collective savings vehicles for everybody in Kenya. They are open to anybody in Kenya. They open for you an account. These days with technology, you can download the app and track your savings. Once you open that account, you do not even need to talk to CIC or Britam or Jubilee anymore. You can monitor your investments. So every month we say you can do a standing order into this account. And so if you're doing 1,000 bob every month into this account, they then every month also credit interest and earning into that account. Into their 1,000.
Or into the 2,000 as you add it.
Yes, as you add it. So that is the most basic form that I would say of investment. Yes, money market. So the collective nature of these investments allows you to benefit as a group collectively because they collect from very many people, and then since they are experts, they do the investments, and every month they credit this money into your account.
So the money markets, is it something to do with the stock market?
Stock market is where they would invest your money
as a collective
unit. There are many different forms of unit trust, and money market is the most basic because they also want to guarantee, because the stock exchange, remember, is an aggressive form of investment where your money can go down or up. But in this case with money markets, there's no time they'll tell you your money went down. So they're also very careful in terms of where they invest so that your money, your capital, what you gave them in the very least does not disappear, which is what we call guarantee. There are unit trusts where you can choose to be an aggressive investor and tell them part of my money can go to the stock exchange. You're not the one now doing this investment. They are doing it on your behalf.
Yes.
So you're just giving them your money. They have to ask you what kind of investor are you so that they understand. Can we take Grace's money? Would she accept that she gave us 1,000 and now today we are telling her it's at 800? So they'll have to understand that. But with money market, since it's the most basic, your capital is guaranteed. So you don't have to do much towards investing it. They do that.
How about... which is something that people don't like exploring. We have a central bank here, so there is of course the Treasury bills and the bonds and all that. Is that something that someone can consider? And again, I know you're just giving us an overview feedback because you can talk more about it later.
The other form, that's another form of investment. You can walk into any central bank in the country. They operate between 9 o'clock and 2 p.m. You can walk in and invest in something called treasury bills or treasury bonds. Now, treasury bills need you to have 50,000 Kenya shillings and above. Treasury bonds need you to have 100,000 Kenya shillings and above. So if you have saved the second two, 50,000, and you want a short-term investment, you go for treasury bills. They mature within 1 year. It is 365 days and below. So you can save for 3 months You can save your 50,000 for 6 months. You can save for 1 year.
Wow.
So at the end of that period, they credit your money back into your account. Yes, very simple. You simply go open an account with them. They are very helpful, by the way.
Very friendly. So go into Central Bank of Kisumu. Don't be afraid of the, guys. The only people who are afraid of them if you are going there with malicious intent.
Correct.
But if you have a very valid reason to be there, they are very welcome.
Here we are talking to very honest Kenyans who really want to know how to save.
Yeah.
It is a good form of investment, Grace, because with treasury bills we've said it's short term. Treasury bonds is long term, more than a year. You want to save maybe for 3 years. You have saved up 100,000. You take it to them. You invest in a treasury bond. They have offers of treasury bonds, so they'll advise you what's on offer. And so when you give them the 100,000 and they tell you the interest is perhaps 10% on that, every 6 months, for 3 years, every 6 months you will receive 10% is the annual rate they give you. So in its basic form, 10% of 100,000 is 10,000. So every 6 months they'll credit 5,000 into your account, which is the interest. So every 6 months you'll get 5,000 for the next 3 years. Then after 3 years they give you back.
I like it because one thing I always say is once you umeipeleka pale, you can't walk to Central Bank and tell them, I want my money back.
There are penalties, Grace. You might be in a fix ile unataka hiyo pesa, but for everything ujue ukikata, even with banks, fixed deposits is the next one. You can go to them, lock your money there. But as you're saying, it gives you discipline because there are consequences to you going there to tell them I want my money.
Yes.
So most people will be disciplined to say, let me leave it there.
Let me look for other ways of sorting out the problem.
Yes.
Wow. This is a lot of information.
It is a lot. We said we are just on introduction.
And I feel we have not even started digging into investments
because
there's issues to do with land. There's issues to do with these pyramid schemes, which I would love if you would talk a little bit about it. There's issues to do with buildings. How do you invest in a house? Do you buy or do you build? And guys, I think we will leave it at that today so that you can ask many questions and you can tell us how else you want Monica to give. What direction do you want her to go? Because this investment, I think this is earnings. People don't want to talk a little more about it, but it's important. Now the third leg of investment is where everybody rushes to without even having savings. It
is big, Grace. It is big. And as you're saying, for all investments you do, and I'm glad you're saying we'll get another opportunity to talk about real estate, to talk about businesses even, to talk about all these other larger forms of investments which need more capital. But for everything you do, Grace, let us say research. These days there's a wealth of information on the internet. There's a wealth of service providers around you. As you're saying, in Kisumu, we are all available, investment people.
Monica is here.
They are there in Nairobi, they are there all over. So research. Do not let people eat your money. Sometimes you have to lose money to learn as well. That's also another form of research.
That's true. That's true. Wow, Monica, thank you so much. We are going to have a second one. Let's get people's feedback and then we can schedule another session just to tackle into categories of investments, because I know they're in categories. And if you have this kind of savings, what would you consider first? What would you consider second and third? And like even building, do you want to start building in bits? Maybe put foundation, ngoje tena utafute kwingine, such kind of things. And mainly for us, for homework, we want you to give us specific investments that we can do in Kisumu. I think that is where the excitement will come into, because we now even have investors from outside who are watching the videos and they want to learn more about Kisumu. So let us give them the information for them to digest so that when they're coming, they already know what they want to invest in.
Correct. We are excited, Grace.
Yes.
As a parting shot, let's demystify investments. It is for everybody, as you said. It from Mama Mboga. We like to put Mama Mboga as the most basic person, to the middle class, to the upper class. Let's demystify investments. so that we are not talking about it as a very big concept which we cannot do. We are talking about something that is accessible to us. And I'm happy you're coming to us now in Kisumu to learn from us who live here, who work here, who are seeing the town grow. We are very excited. Thank you for having me.
So you'll give us your details, like her contact details will be on the description box for those who want. If you have a chama, if you want her to come and give you ideas, or maybe you advise, she'd be happy to come and do that. So from us is thank you very much, Monica, for coming. We hope to see you again. From our viewers, we want to say thank you. From our African Queen Grace crew, we want to say thank you for being with us. Remember to subscribe, share with your friends. We are talking about investments in Kisumu. Bye.